going, everyone? Welcome back to the Nintendo Super Power Club Challenge channel, where we are literally knocking out a very impressive challenge on the list, just like this guy's getting knocked out in the playing card here. This is Raging Fighter on the Game Boy, and we are looking at card number 96 in the collection. So for those of you who are keeping track on the scoreboard of the incomplete remaining Pro Challenges, this, to my knowledge, is the only remaining head-to-head tournament fighter left on the list. Now, there are a couple different beat-em-up games still out there we've yet to do. I know Death Return of Superman is out there, Final Fight, certainly a more popular of the two, is out there, and there might be another one. But this is for sure the last of the tournament fighters. And for being on the Game Boy, this is not one that you'd really expect, but I will say it's made by Konami, so there's some very good quality there, as we've come to expect in the past. Not a whole lot to say here. This is one that you should give a try if you've never heard of it, like most people haven't. Let's jump into this and see why I've held off on it for so long and what makes it so tough. Okay, this challenge is a little bit different for fighting games, especially for a Pro Challenge, so take a look at this. The challenge says, in the story mode, can you beat these challenges? So on Pro, we have to become the champion of Trial Tower with Tau on difficulty level 1. Now, why it's level 1 and not the highest level, once again, is beyond me. Then again, I don't write these challenges, so don't shoot me. As far as what you have to do, basically you need to win an endurance match. You need to beat 5 computer opponents on one single life bar with arguably the weakest character in the game. Not in terms of health, but in terms of moves. He's got one decent special move, but beyond that, it's just normals. Can it be done? Yes, but take my word for it, it's extremely difficult without a little bit of luck and some good solid fundamentals here. I can tell you I managed to pull it off, but I can't tell you how many times I had to restart the game in order to do this. But you're going to find out just how hard it is after watching this video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Raging Fighter on the Game Boy. Here we go. Okay, so once the game starts, go right into options, change the difficulty to level 1, and I also suggest changing the timer set to off. That way you can take your time on this match and all the matches that follow here. Why it's set to level 1, I couldn't tell you, but once again, I don't make the challenges, it is what it is. Alright, our first fight is going to be against a fighter named Vandal. He is fairly easy, and with a little bit of practice, you can take him down with not much effort. So you have to watch out for a slide attack. We'll put all of the moves up in the corner or on the side panel here so you can see exactly how to handle it. Basically with Vandal, you just have to watch out. He has a slashing jumped axe kick, looks just like that. And in order to avoid it, just make sure you're not stupid and jump into it here. If you're going to do his spin attack, Tau spin attack, just make sure that you're doing it when he's not in the air clearly. And I would also do it when you're up close. And that's all you got to worry about. If you can do that, you can get through this first fight without much of a problem. And with that being said, that takes care of the first fight, Vandal, and we're now moving into fight number 2, which is going to be up against a guy named Bulk, if I'm not mistaken here. And yeah, he is pretty bulky, so the name is very fitting. There we go. Now, this second fight can be a little bit tricky here because he tends to use his bulk against you. He can use it in terms of jumping and dashing just like that. So, again, your special attack is going to be key here to taking him down. Make sure that you do it when you're in close, and that is the key with that special move against pretty much all of your enemies here. Make sure you do it in close. Believe it or not, these enemies are somewhat smart in that they know to jump over your special. Bulk is no exception here. And again, if you're smart and you do your moves correctly, you should be able to get through both of these fights without much of a problem here. Also, something else I would point out, maybe you've noticed it with these last couple fights, but when you do your special move, if and when you knock him down, immediately get in close right next to them and perform your special right as he gets up, or right before he gets up, and they'll be forced to block and either take chip damage or take the real damage, and that'll put you in a much better position to get rid of them. Okay, now we have Myopi coming up, and you're going to notice a couple different similarities here to Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Number 1, how she looks, but number 2, her moveset is very similar as well. They made a couple slight alterations so it wasn't a complete copycat. But number 1, notice how she jumps very high in the air. She will also have a tendency to stomp on you, exactly like Chun-Li. And you're also going to notice another special that is, again, almost exactly identical, but we'll get to that in a second here. Biggest piece of advice I can give is very similar to the first 2 fights. Don't start your scissor slash special too far away because she will jump over it, and check that out, Hurricane Kick. You think they borrowed from Street Fighter much? Nah, not at all. But anyway, once again, don't start the scissor slash from too far away and you're probably going to hit her. If it's in close, much better success rate. Once again, if and when you knock her down, start the special from in close and just wash, rinse, and repeat. It's the same old cycle. Once you get her in here, there's nothing she can really do. Just keep on continuing, and it won't be much longer till she goes down. I would strongly suggest not continuing on to the following fights unless you have at least half of a life bar, if not more if you can help it, because the next two fights, although they might not necessarily be difficult per se, they will be more damaging. This fourth fight, speaking of which, this is against a character called Shades, who bears a strong resemblance to Guile, and some of his moves may look similar as well. Now, check this out. A Dragon Punch? Yeah, once again, this game didn't borrow from Street Fighter at all, not one single bit. Now, fortunately, this character is not as difficult to defeat, as I said, because you can really start your special from in close or far away, and it's not going to matter too much. If you notice him do the Dragon Punch from far away, just start up your scissor slash special, and you're almost guaranteed to hit him 99% of the time. Beyond that, same old stuff you've done for the past 3 fights, just get in close, hit him, hit him, hit him. He'll go down. Now in my case, I'm playing a bit chancy right now. I have a little less than half of a life bar going into the final fight against a fighter named Gilga, who is going to bear another strong resemblance to another Street Fighter character. In this case, I think he's going to look very similar to Vega. But take a look at this. Going into the final fight, Gilga, now I don't know if this is exactly true per se, but in this case, he is mimicking and matching the character that I have, Tao. So all of the special moves and outcomes are going to be exactly the same. He'll have the stomp, he'll have the scissor slash, so be aware of that. It's essentially a mirror match is all it is. It can definitely be done. Fight him very cautiously. Don't start the special from too far away because he can jump and stomp on you. And clearly, if you see him going for the scissor slash, don't be a fool. Either jump over it or move back and get out of the way. Jump kicks have a good tendency to work pretty well here. Standing kicks, if you're in close, just be very careful. Tend to start that scissor slash in close, so he has no choice but to block it and take chip damage. Or if he's stupid, he'll just take the regular damage. And we've only got one little piece of pixel of health left. We got him. Nice kick right to the face. Knocked him out, just like we knocked out this challenge. Number 96, Raging Fighter. Thank you guys once again for checking this one out. Much appreciated. As we look into the future here, yes, those lovely little lemmings are still waiting for us to take them down. And we got a couple other Super NES games on the horizon as well. Take care, everyone. We will see you in the next one.